ahead and meet tomorrow, get dressed up a little and go out and ask questions from people. The questions that we've kind of all prepared already.
Okay.
Go out, ask those questions, and then take it from there, I guess.
Okay.
All right?
So we're gonna talk to UNLV students?
Yeah, let's talk to students because most people know these things, but they know it in English. They don't know the technical aspect of it, and maybe we can help improve their education, give them an education in healthcare, along with whatever major they're learning about.
Okay.
All right?
That sounds fun.
That sounds good.
Right? Okay.
All
So let's meet up.
I'm a HCA 175 student and I have a few questions to ask you today. If I asked you, how would you define a hospital?
Hospital would be a place where people get the care they need.
Okay, that's a good answer. That's actually a definition of a hospital, but it's a technical term. It has to have at least 6 beds to be categorically called a hospital. Yeah. So thank you.
I wanted to ask you a couple of questions today about healthcare in general.
Okay.
All right? Did you have any idea as to how many hospitals there are in the Las Vegas area?
I don't actually.
Oh, okay. Well, there's 17 hospitals right now,
Okay.
and most of them have gone up within the past 10 or 12 years,
Okay.
which is basically showing how fast we are expanding. And just one other question I had for you. Do you think that the U.S. should go to a universal healthcare system?
Absolutely.
Any particular reason why?
I'm originally from Germany, and
Okay.
I know a lot of people that I studied abroad with when I was in Germany also the last 2 years, and it's a lot more efficient, the system. It's hard to compare because United States is so giant, the country is.
Right.
Germany could be considered like, you could compare that to California. That's just one
Right.
state. So I guess the problem would arise like, could you compare the two?
Okay.
Would it work efficiently
Okay.
with so many people in this
Right.
country compared to something that small? But if you could
One more
figure
question, actually. I'm so sorry. Do you think the U.S. should adopt the national insurance like they have in Canada, or do you think what we have right now works?
I think what we do have works. I'm not the biggest fan of national healthcare,
Okay.
but that's because I come from a family who lived in a country where it did have it and it didn't work out for them too well. So that's my personal opinion.
Thank you.
Question for which country do you think spent the most money on healthcare?
Probably one of the European countries.
European
Like,
countries?
the Netherlands.
Netherlands? And the right answer to that is the United States. Did you know that the world's contribution, half is from the United States?
On healthcare.
Healthcare research. On average, 51% of the world research done in medical field is done by the United States. So that's one of the key interesting fact that we are not known for our research, but it's one of the biggest contributions to the medical research field. Now, do you think that U.S. should go to the universal insurance the way that Canada has it? Or do you think what we have is good enough for right now?
I feel like Canada's plan is more progressive and a little bit better to understand because the way we have it now, it's not really benefiting people across the board.
Right, I'm gonna ask you the last question. How much does it cost to build a hospital on a smaller scale? Or like any roughly idea about it?
No idea.
Okay.
They're quite high in the millions or anything.
In fact, you're right. So for a hospital to consider a hospital, it takes 6 beds, right? And now to open a small community-based hospital of roughly around 25 beds, it costs $30 to $35 million to open a hospital, and that's just the construction portion of it. You still have the labor and everything is separate. But I just want to thank you very much for your time, and I really appreciate giving us your answer.
Hello, my name is Ifan. I'm a HCA 175 student, and we have a class presentation. Thank you for participating. So, how many beds do you think it takes to make a hospital?
You could just say like 1,000.
1,000 beds. Okay. The technical definition of a hospital, you need only 6 beds for it to be categorized as a hospital. Like it does all the good stuff a hospital does, but it has to technically have 6 beds, at least 6 beds. Then one more. Do you think America should adopt a national insurance policy like they have in Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah? But why would you think so? Do you have any personal experience?
No, I don't have personal experience, but I mean, it just seems like a good idea to have everyone covered.
Okay, so what do you think? How many people are uninsured in America?
Do you want a percentage?
You can give me a percentage.
A percentage or a number?
Let's just say like 20%.
That's close. It was almost 20%, but now it's actually 11% right now.
Okay.
So it's working out. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Hi, I'm a HCA 175 student, and I wanted to ask you a question or two about healthcare in Las Vegas and maybe across the United States.
Okay.
All right. So I wanted to know, in your opinion, do you think we have enough nurses in the state of Nevada?
I don't think that there can ever be too many nurses, and I know
Okay.
there's always a shortage. So no.
That's right. We're actually ranked 50th out of a possible 51. The
Okay.
way they did it is they also included Washington, D.C. as a separate entity. So we're
Okay.
pretty much in the bottom.
The bottom.
How about physicians?
I believe we need more as well.
Absolutely. We are ranked at about 48 on average. For some specialties, it's 51. For others, it's 48. Luckily for GPs and family practitioners, we're up to 45. So that's. And I wanted to ask you a particular question these days: is should the U.S. go into national healthcare? That is universal healthcare, in your opinion?
That one's kind of hard. I always say no, just because I think that it gets to. I have always heard of like where Canada, if they have a national healthcare system, and it's really hard for you to get any kind of help. It's just because of the shortage and too many people go to the doctor. Because I've talked to actual people from
Right.
Canada that have that problem,
Right.
and they end up coming here for specialties or whatever
Okay.
it may be. And I don't want that to happen. So
Right.
I think different healthcare systems, depending on what you
Right.
pay for, I think is a good way to go
Okay.
about it.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with the question that we asked, and a lot of people don't even know that roughly if it's America is one of the highest. If America is the country where most of the research is done, they think it's some other country. That's one thing that I found from this
Yeah.
whole research that we did, that most people think it's some European country that does most of the research or contribution to the medical research. But that's one thing that I found. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's from their answers that we got. It seems people think that most of the research goes on outside of the U.S.,
Yeah,
which is not right. Most of the research is done in the U.S.
yeah,
and those other countries do contribute, but majority is still done here.
Yeah,
It's
that's right.
it's still where all the cutting edge
yeah,
happens. Then we had people people didn't know how many hospitals
we're there.
were here in
Yeah.
the valley, which I think is a little surprising, to
True.
be honest, because you need to know kind of where the hospitals are,
Yeah,
because you're going everywhere. I mean, you can be in Summerlin, you can be in Henderson,
true.
you can be on one side of the valley or the other. You should kind of have an idea if there's a
Yeah.
hospital nearby.
True.
I mean, if nothing else, you're in an accident and you need to take a friend or something,
Yeah.
somebody cuts their hand
Yeah.
and you're taking them. I mean, you don't always get to get an ambulance,
True.
so there's that. I was very surprised by
That.
some of the responses on the part of going back to that, the healthcare thing. I mean, that's
Yeah.
just, it blows my mind. People think Europe is that far ahead, but
Yeah.
you know,
And the other thing that I found from this thing is that people are still not aware of like an average of how what it takes to be considered a hospital.
So I have a comment
Yeah.
on the research part. So I was a little surprised that someone actually said Europe, because the point is America is big. The U.S. is a big nation,
Yeah.
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
not just that, it's a sophisticated country. So it should be expected that
Yeah.
most of the research goes on here. So
Yeah.
that was
Yeah, but
surprising.
I think it also has to do with the perception of maybe not a perception of what healthcare research is, what healthcare is. You know, I mean, you start, it starts getting a little technical,
Mhm.
and these people didn't really have the
Yeah.
technical knowledge as well. So there's that.
Yeah.
Then some of the other questions, it was very interesting to hear the different array of responses that
Yeah.
we got from everyone.
That is true.
It was enlightening to see there's such a variety of viewpoints.
Yeah.
It's not that everyone has the same, like the gentleman who spoke about national health in Europe, specifically Germany, and then also the girl who spoke about healthcare in Canada. Those are two very opposing viewpoints.
Yeah.
The guy was all for national health.
Yeah.
The girl was not was not in favor of
True.
having national health. So I mean, it's
It's very
that's
debatable.
a very divisive topic.
Yeah.
People have very strong feelings on it as well.
Yeah.
But it is.
And I think that's one of the most debatable questions. Like,
Well, it's a subjective question.
Subjective,
It's
yeah.
something that what you believe in, and it's not just about the money. It's about things that you believe in, things that you do or don't
yeah.
believe in.
So most people, the debate about national insurance, most people probably answer that question based on emotions. You want everyone to get care.
But
So the people we interviewed were younger, so that could have been the reason why
True.
a good amount of them chose national insurance.
maybe
Because you don't have the understanding, you don't
it
even
could
pay
be-
for your insurance. You
it
don't-
could be.
most of them might not have a job.
It's also one of the things where people have, it goes back again, I think, to more than just emotion. It goes back to your whole outlook on life as to what you see. What you see will help you, won't help you, what it is.
Yeah, but at age 17, what is your outlook at life? And most of our people we interviewed are between the age of 17 to 22.
Yeah.
So
Again,
they're quite
again,
young. So
Again, they're young, but it's just about it can be all based off what political beliefs you have,
True.
what economic beliefs you have, so there's so many
with
things.
health knowledge, so it could be that the older you are, the more you know, and that probably will shape your answer as you go on.
At the same time, the older you are, the more conservative you might be getting, and so you may not want to change. Younger people are more open to change sometimes,
Yeah.
so there's
Sure.
that. So, I think we've pretty much covered
Yeah.
that, so
So,
what do you guys think?
Yeah, I was gonna ask what do you guys think about this whole experience we had to ask people about information.
Now,
It
number
wasn't
one, I
like-
was impressed that the students gave us audience. All
True.
the people, we're actually grateful to all of them because they were willing to participate in our class presentation. And I would like to also point out that the people we interviewed were all science-related majors, and the knowledge of health wasn't really based on anything but popular view, and I
Yeah.
thought that was interesting too.
Yeah, technical, like the question we asked about the hospital, people knew about, the guy knew about the colloquial definition, the
Yeah.
general definition, but nobody really knows about the technical
Yeah.
aspect of it. So,
I think I agree. Yeah, it was really eye opening about the information that the
Yeah.
people we interview that they know about health field.
absolutely.
And even though we asked limited questions, but they were really good questions.
Yeah.
and
So,
I had a really good time.
We got it. Yeah,
knowing-
it was an interesting experience.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
that was our presentation, guys.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.